Hey, Chin Music listeners, welcome to episode 16 of Chin Music with Mitch and Tony. I am one of your hosts, Mitch Bone.
And I'm the other host, Mr. Tony Legacy, baby.
Tony, man, it's been a few weeks since we've done this. We kind of
Yeah,
took a break during the Christmas season. How's it been?
well, there's a much reasonable break. I mean, here's the deal. I mean, I start checking out right around Thanksgiving and just pretty much everything. So I think it worked out pretty well schedule wise. But yeah, for about 3 weeks there, I don't think I left my house and didn't really want to.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, the break was absolutely amazing, and the
sweet.
holidays.
I can't say I didn't leave my house, but I definitely slowed down.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, much needed. So it was a good time. What Christmas wise, anything that most importantly, the true meaning of Christmas, what did you get from gift wise?
So for me, the cool thing that I got, so for those that don't know, I'm in a wheelchair and I got a portable ramp. So I'm able to
Let's go.
avoid the demon that I like to call stairs. And so yeah,
Dude. Now you can come over to my house for some ribs, boy.
exactly. So no,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing that I got for Christmas. And I have a really cool car that takes away a lot of barriers, and then now I have a ramp that does even more so. So
So
I
how
think
does
that's really
that
cool.
so how does that really like how does that work, Mitch? Like is it handy? I mean, have you used it yet?
I haven't used it yet. It is pretty heavy. It's like 50 pounds.
Well, so how's
So
that gonna work?
I'll have to come to people's houses like yours, Tony, and have you
You
help
need
me
to get
out.
in the gym. You need to get your ass in the gym.
No, so I'll have to have help with it. But
Okay, cool.
I mean, it folds out and then it folds like a hot dog and then a taco is the two ways I like to.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's awesome,
Yeah.
bro.
So that's the big thing I got. And then, of course, clothes. I don't know if you know this even, but I'm a big UNC basketball fan.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know you.
So growing up in the 90s and all that, they had Vince Carter and of course they had Jordan in the 80s. And so both of those guys just kind of grew my love of UNC basketball. So my brother really leaned into that and got me a couple basketball shirts from there. And yeah,
Sweet.
just some clothes and the, the Christmas staples.
Yeah. Nice, man. Well, that's gonna be handy that you got that. I got a couple different things, but start off from the top. Got a infrared sauna blanket.
Yes, you've been telling me about this. So tell me about this and how does it
Dude,
work and like what does it do for you?
it's amazing. Okay, so done a lot of research. Didn't even know about it. Was surprised on Christmas morning. Thought, what the hell? Why would Santa bring me this when he knows that I wanted something way cooler? Had no information about it whatsoever. So I read up on it, tried it, whatever. Um, Basically, you sit in. It's like a sleeping bag, but it's
Uh-huh.
like a little bit weighted and has infrared heat, the infrared heat mechanism in it, which now that I know what I know about sauna use and things like that, most of the saunas I've ever sat in are just true, saunas, put water on the stones kind of sauna and,
Right.
sweat, whatever. Well, this infrared stuff actually heats your body from the inside, and then makes you sweat just the same, but is just far, far better on just a lot more benefits with the infrared. And one thing I've really immediately noticed is like I put it on high for 45, 50 minutes right when I wake up in the morning, and I'm thinking I have some circulation things going on, like just because when I go for a run or go work out sometimes in the morning, like my feet are like cold, right? Like so like they're just kind of rusty and they just don't feel good. Dude, I do this. I'm super mobile. My flexibility's gone to the roof. Like
Wow.
I feel unreal. Like I really do, and it's a good kickstart to my metabolism. I've actually been able to lose a couple pounds by doing this every single day in the
Wow.
morning. Yeah, dude. And so, but yeah, you get out of it, and I mean, the whole thing is just drenching in sweat,
Oh, I'm sure.
basically. So yeah, you sweat it all out, but it heats up your muscles. My back hasn't felt this great in a long time. Like I even noticed walking up and down the stairs, like just some of the pressures. I'm 235, 237, right in there, pending. And shoot, I've had an issue as I get older with my back, my lower back. But dude, it's been awesome. I'm super pumped about it, and it's been a nice little kickstart to having any sort of New Year's resolution success as far as being in better shape and all those things. So,
That's
but
awesome, man.
yeah, that's kind of the big one that I got. So that's pretty cool. And then yeah, some new hockey stuff and new hockey bag, and then we just got back from our biggest Christmas present, which we took the boys to Seattle to watch actually an improv Seahawks game, which we
Yes.
weren't planning on at all, and
It,
whatever. Super
isn't that
pumped.
funny? When we were there in August, that's how we got our Seahawks game in too. It was an improv. We went there for the
Yeah,
Mariners game. We were just like, oh, hey, the Seahawks are in town.
dude, and I was pretty impressed. Loved the stadium. Thought it was super cool. I've only been to three NFL stadiums: Patriots, Arizona, and now Seattle. Really impressed. Love the. We sat higher up, because we just were like, it's on a whim. This really isn't in our
Right.
budget. So, but we still ended up spending $1,000 on tickets. You know what I mean? So for four of us, the boys loved it. They'd never been to an NFL game, so got to show them that. And then, man, the Winter Classic was absolutely awesome. Yeah, I got to see Wayne Gretzky. I was about 10 feet away from him, and um, Paul Bissonnette and from the Spit and Chicklets podcast, and all those guys were there. And the game itself wasn't too exciting, especially being a Knights fan,
I
losing
mean,
three
come on.
zero.
It was in Seattle, and Seattle dominated. That had to be just like the best game ever.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have cared who won. I just wanted to see a good game, and it was just, yeah, I don't know, it was just kind of slow or whatever, but no complaints as to the overall experience. The venue was all decked out, just loaded. I mean, it was, yeah, it was really cool. It was well worth what we got, and our flights worked out perfect, and like to this day, traveling back and forth from Arizona, still the smoothest flight that I've ever been on consistently day in, day out is from Seattle to Billings to Seattle more so.
It's
Um,
such an awesome flight. We took it two
bro,
times this summer. It's
it's just
great.
class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's quick. It's about an hour and 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I mean, it's awesome. So that worked
Yeah.
out. My sister Lonnie got to go with us. That was awesome. Obviously, probably the biggest highlight of the trip was just watching the boys there the whole time in their face and watching it light up. And so, yeah, it was a big deal. Now we're back on the grind and all the things.
That's
So,
awesome.
mhm. So that was good.
That's awesome. You know, that Billings flight, it kind of helps too. I mean, obviously your sister works for the Horizon Billings to
Yeah,
Seattle flight,
Alaska. Yeah.
but then so one of my good friends, one of our good family friends, Jimmy Romero, works with your sister too.
Oh, I love Jimmy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give him a shout out. Jimmy. No, yeah.
Jimmy is the
Jimmy's,
GOAT.
bro, I love him. Yeah. Yeah. Lonnie was actually shopping for him down there. Lonnie goes and gets stickers wherever she goes, but they didn't have any Winter Classic stickers. But yeah, no, Jimmy real well. Good guy. Yeah. So it just, yeah, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, the Billings Horizon crew is great. Or Alaska, it's not Horizon anymore.
Yeah, it used to be. Now I think it's just strictly Alaska.
Yeah,
But yeah, worked out good. So
awesome for sure. So tell me more about this Winter Classic. Like,
yeah.
I saw the video of the Kraken intro,
Mhm.
and being a Seattle guy, I love that. But just tell me more about that. And then another thing that I'm really interested in, I always find it interesting when they do like games in like a baseball stadium for another sport. So how did that
Right.
work out?
Well, a couple things. Yeah, the intro was great. They had some yeah, guys tossing fish in between the players. Like they really sold out on the deal. Both all the Kraken showed up in the same attire as far as like in the throwing fish or fisherman sea outfit or whatever, and then I think the Knights showed up in the Elvis outfits.
Yeah.
Um, so that was cool. And then yeah, the intro was great. Fireworks, the whole shebang. The layout of the field I thought was exceptional. I mean, I wouldn't. So it's really tricky because like you don't want to be like ideally like a seat right behind the home plate, like 3 rows up, isn't really ideal for an event like that because you got the boards in the way, so you have a tough time seeing the puck, right? So really, we were sitting at the 200 level, the club level, which is an awesome experience if you ever get to do it. The club level is the way to do it. Avoid the people. I mean, it's
Right.
yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, so we sat club level. That we were right above the Vegas. Well, I guess the north goal end. Um, yeah, and yeah, sat right above that, and it was great. Yeah, the true best seat in the house was probably in the main press box, like just looking straight down on it. That'd probably be the best seat. But they had it set up nice, had everything decked out, everything was in theme as far as Kraken goes, and the band Heart played. They played on like a shipwreck looking stage thing, lots of lights, fireworks. I mean, it was a whole deal. I mean, they really did. Heart wasn't really the best choice. I feel like, I mean, they're obviously Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but they had actually performed the night before, and she was having. Granted, she's a lot older, and understandably so, if the range isn't as on point as it used to be. But
Right.
they had actually performed the night before, so it was okay. It was just okay. Cool to see them.
That's awesome for sure. Yeah, I always love that. Like, the N or not the NFL, the college football bowls will be at like Yankee Stadium or whatever.
Mhm.
And it's like, how do you do that? I always just
Mhm.
find that so cool.
Well, there's just if you think about it too, I mean, there's so much space. Like I thought, the Winter Classic would have been really sick had it been played at the casino at the Seahawks stadium because of just
Yeah.
how loud it is and everything like that. And it would have been a good venue for it. But it was nice with the setup and everything that they kind of implemented. They had a ton of room
Oh, I bet.
working at team. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it
heard they
was.
packed like 50,000 in there.
Yep, 50,000 people.
That's crazy.
Yeah, pretty wild. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, everything was great. Like I said, if only it was a more entertaining back and forth kind of game, which it just really wasn't. And the ice was playing a little slow. Seemed
Yeah.
like it was kind of hard to get an offense started for both teams. Like all their goals were kind of on the rush and just kind of bang bang deals. So, but yeah, no, I was impressed. We'd like to make a standing reservation at the Shelby and I's goal is probably maybe to do the Winter Classic every year and just go and wherever it ends up.
That'd be
So
sweet.
yeah, yeah. The only thing I wish is it was a bigger. It was bigger, right? Like I know it's an annual game and stuff, but like I wish that there was something at stake other than just a regular season game. It would just make it that much more kind of. It would make it less. It would make it less hokey. I want to say hokey might be the right word because it's just kind of a big. I wouldn't want the players to approach it like a just an entertainment game, right? And I think obviously everybody in the NHL skates their ass off because you can't really play that game high level any other way. But I just feel like there would be more at stake. Have money on the line, whatever on the line, something on the line, just to
Kind of do like
really.
what the NBA did with their in-season tournament with the Winter Classic game. Have it be 50,000 per player to the winner, whatever the amount is.
Yeah, or yeah, or take zero advice from the NBA because the NBA sucks. Anyways, but yeah, no, I think that.
I don't want to say the NBA sucks because the
Well,
actually
I
the
do.
in-season tournament actually I think worked fairly well, minus them doing regular season in between, but I thought
Mitchell,
it worked
just
pretty well.
think about the average person, how hard it would be for them to put on a pair of skates, go on the ice, learn to do all that, right? And just pick it up like they're on the first spot. Now, okay? Level of difficulty, for most, probably a 9 to an 8.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, look at the NBA. What if I just walk outside, never played basketball in my life, picked up a ball, aimed for a hoop? I mean, my success rate for the success is probably going to be a lot higher, right?
Okay, but you're what, 6'2"?
It doesn't matter. Let's say we're both 5'5". If I'm throwing shit at a hoop, I got a hell of a lot better chance of being successful than I do standing on 3/4 inch of a freaking blade on both sides of my feet. Am I right?
I mean, if the playing fields are 100% even, yes, you are 100% correct.
Yeah.
But just from the standpoint, these NBA guys are 7 feet tall. You would
Yeah.
stand no chance.
I mean,
And
let's
that's
see
in
if
any
throw some
sport. There
skates.
is no sport that an average Joe can go play in. Well, I shouldn't say no sport because you're going to come up with one, but no professional sport like, any Olympic sport, any.
Underwater basket weaving.
I knew you were going to say some bullshit like that.
What are you talking about? That's incredible. I just won a big parlay on the underwater basket weaving world championships.
But I mean, there's very few sports that you could just walk into no matter what it is.
Yeah, except for basketball. All right, moving on. Let's see. What's going on? We got some games this weekend. We got some exciting games, and I never thought I'd say this in my life, but there's going to be an exciting game between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes, there is.
Wow.
I mean, maybe the Colts end, I would have thought, okay, yeah, the Colts are decent, but not the Texans. I'm surprised by this team.
Yeah, I wish they would have had a little bit better luck in regards to their QB being on that heater and him, not having to be bitten by the injury bug. Because yeah, shoot, they're actually pretty dang entertaining, and I definitely recall talking about our predictions in regards to the rookie quarterback um, at the beginning of the year and who's going to have the most success. And I think we both agreed, or at least I asked you, that Anthony Richardson for the Colts would be kind of the standout, and definitely has been CJ Stroud.
It has been CJ Stroud, but I will say, because you're talking about CJ Stroud getting the injury bug, I think if Anthony Richardson hadn't gone down in like week 3 or 4, it would be a different conversation. I think
Yeah, maybe he would have got it. I mean,
I
he's
think
still.
he's a different beast. And I also think even though Houston has played extremely well this year, I think on paper, Indy is the better team.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, on paper, yeah.
Now
And
that doesn't
then,
mean anything because on paper, a team like the 49ers should never lose a game, but they
do you
do.
know? Do you know by chance? So in that game, by the way, I have C.J. Stroud to throw 2 touchdown passes. I mean, that guy's a lock for 2 tutties, right?
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
mean, yeah. So what's on the line for the Steelers and the Ravens game?
Steelers and Ravens game.
Yeah,
Let me look
I
real
believe the
quick.
Steelers, obviously, their playoff hopes, because they did have a great outing against the Hawks when I watched them play last weekend.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that one. Um, so let me look. The Steelers are 9-7, so they could be a playoff team. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, they got to win that game. Good
Because the
luck.
Ravens are the number 1 seed, so they've locked that down.
Well, I'm still looking at a Niners Ravens Super Bowl outcome. There you have it, folks. If you hadn't heard it before, that's my prediction.
I'm going to make a prediction, and I didn't make this before because I didn't think this team was going to resurrect its season. But I think the Bills are going to be in the Super Bowl.
Wow. Okay. I mean, they kind of had a little rough patch, a little finicky. We'll see how clutch and big play.
They've
Or
turned it
even
around
to
this last month.
Yeah, they have looked good. They have looked good. I will say their defense has been on point. Would like to see to be a true believer. Maybe it's a good thing that it's maybe not going to come to fruition, but I mean, you got to get Diggs involved, man. Diggs is man, and every Bills game I've watched up to this point in the season, I've watched about four of them, five of them. He's just totally irrelevant. They just find a way to shut him down.
Yeah,
So to me, that's not real encouraging in regards to the long game, making a deep run into the playoffs.
but they do have other weapons. I mean, at least it's
Dalvin
not
Cook
like
or James Cook, sorry.
James Cook. They have Gabe Davis. They have Kincaid, who's a
Yeah,
tight
they're
end.
two tight ends now. Yeah, they have him and what's his name
Dawson
back?
Knox,
Knox back, so that's a target.
and they also have the legs of Josh Allen. That's a weapon in and of itself.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping so because I'm about out on the old Josh Allen train. Man.
I can't be out on it. I love his story. I love that he came from Wyoming and is doing
Mm-hmm.
so well.
Yeah, so does everybody. But I want to see some cool shit on the field. Let's go.
Yeah.
Make a play. Make a play.
I honestly think it's the Niners to lose. And
Yeah.
I mean, I would not be surprised if the Niners are in there in February, I think it is. And they're going to be playing either the Ravens, Dolphins, or Bills are my top three.
Now I will ask you this one more time because I asked you right after week one, the opening night, because I saw it. I could just see it. Do the Detroit Lions have a legitimate chance to make the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, no. Deep run, yes.
What do you think of the three play calls in a row to to beat the Cowboys at home? I thought it was awesome. I didn't care. Neither did they. I thought it was fantastic. Dan Campbell's like, yeah, we ain't playing for a tie. Like, oh, flag, yeah. Oh, we're on the 20. Yeah, we're still going for it. Like,
Yeah, and that's why they're not making the Super Bowl. I love Dan Campbell. I
no.
love his,
The Cowboys were
his
stunned that they won that game. You realize
yeah.
that, right? They
Oh, I
were they were
know.
in shock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cowboys are also pretenders, honestly.
yeah, they're gonna get ruled.
Get them on the road and they're gonna get creamed.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see both those teams make a run. I would say I'm not a Cowboy hater by any means. CD Lamb has been unbelievably exceptional this year. He's been great
Yeah.
to watch. They've been targeting him. He's been most of their offense, truly. I mean, the Tony Pollard kind of just lukewarm on him now, whereas I was big on him last year. But yeah,
I
CD's
kind of
been
wonder if
lights out.
Dallas is just a place where running backs go to die.
Well, if you're going off of just merely Zeke Elliott, like, I mean, he's not a good example because,
Well, no, but I mean, Tony Pollard's kind of fallen off this year a little bit.
well, and with a receiving core like that, I mean, his work's going to be limited. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what their defense does. Their defense scores a ton of points for them.
Yeah.
So if they
Yeah, don't
can,
they have one guy that has like 5 pick sixes or something like that?
yeah, I think so.
It's insane.
Yeah. So yeah, but we'll see. I mean, they're not a single person in the country right now can tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl. That's for sure.
Nope.
Or even who's even going to be in it. I mean,
Well,
there's
there
some
is
good
one
teams.
person. There is one person if you believe that there's an NFL script.
Oh, script.
Roger Goodell could tell you.
Oh yeah, Roger could tell you. He already knows. If you look at the Super Bowl cover colors, they're red and purple, so that insinuates that the Ravens and the Niners will be in there.
Yep.
Yeah, just like last year, they were red and green. And what do you know?
That is a little bit coincidental. I'm
You
not saying
might
I
want to
believe
watch
it.
that. I did see a TikTok on that.
I'm not saying I 100% believe it, but it is weird.
Also, 9/11 really happened. Okay, anyways, moving on now. Just kidding. Okay, we got some on the NFL level. Yeah, like I said, here's the time of the year. It's going to be super fun. Crank up the volume, listen to the playoff atmosphere. College, what do we got?
Did you watch those games last week?
I was at the Winter Classic, and no.
Okay, well, so you had Alabama, Michigan, which went
Great
into
game.
overtime,
All right.
and Michigan pulled it out. Great game. Milrow fumbled the ball in the fourth quarter that really kind of turned the game around for Michigan. And so that was a great game. And the nightcap was Washington and Texas. And that game was an absolute shootout.
Awesome.
37-30, I think, or 36-30, one of the two. And Michael Penix played like it was his last game of football ever.
Nice.
Threw for over 400 yards. And it was just
That's your
dart
guy.
after dart after dart. I love Michael Penix.
You love him.
He's so good.
Maybe we'll get him on the show. Promise to give the people what they want, you know?
Oh my God, if he came on the show, that would be amazing.
Oh, geez. You just, yeah.
Honestly, Michael Penix could come on the show, and that would be just the best thing ever. I love him so much. He's a great lefty quarterback, and I'm a lefty, so yeah, so I'm a sucker for left-handed quarterbacks. That's why I hold out hope that Tua's going to be good.
Got a crush on these guys, don't you?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it should be a good. The national championship now. That's on Monday, right? It's always on.
That's
Monday.
on Monday, yeah. So we
Cool.
got Michigan and Washington.
Boom.
Best part about that. Sorry for anyone that listens in the southeast portion of the country. Yeah. No SEC teams.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Clark.
But I mean, I will admit this now because they've lost. Oh, gosh, I was sort of pulling for Alabama.
Wow. The wheels have came off.
I will say this is why. I felt like they had a few more holes, and obviously they did. And I felt like if Washington was going to beat Texas, which they did, they had a better shot of beating Alabama.
Okay. So, national championship prediction, who are you going with?
I'm going with Washington. I got to go with Pac-12, go out on top in your last year. And I'm going to say it's going to be 31-21.
31-21. They're going to lay it on them.
Yep.
Boom. Wow. So what does that say about Michigan's depth as a team? Because like the NBA, college is, unless I got a parlay or something, it's not really on my priority list. I'd watch a regular season NHL game over a college game. Truly. What does that say about the depth? Just truly asking as a question. I mean, how good is this Michigan team?
This Michigan team is pretty good. I'm not going to say that they're easy and like that Washington's just going to run over them. But the thing about Washington and why I say that they're going to beat them semi-handily is they have 3 really good wide receivers, like legitimate. 2 are probably going to go in the first round, and the third one's going to go in the second.
Damn.
Like really good wide receivers. Their quarterback is going to go in the first round. Like it is the year of the Huskies when it comes to that much firepower on the offensive side of the ball. And eventually I think that's just going to wear Michigan out. It's not that Michigan's a bad team. It's just keeping up with those 3 guys is going to be difficult.
Very cool. Go Huskies. That's my pick then too.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. What else? What another big game going on here? National championship for the FCS.
We do. We have the FCS, and of course, Montana is represented in that game this year.
Again. Whoa! Once again.
Yes. Yes. So we went on a little bit of a drought of like 10 years where there was not any Montana schools in the FCS championship. And now we've had 2 in the last 3 years.
Which is great. Yeah.
So we had the Bobcats a few years ago, went on that awesome run. And then this year it's the Grizzlies' turn. The Grizz are in the FCS championship.
Perfect. Looking up the spread on that game, and we're going to talk about that. FCS Championship. What's that? Okay. Let's see here. Ooh, Montana gets 13 points. SDSU gonna roll these guys or what?
You know, as much as I hate to admit it, being a Montana fan, not a University of Montana fan, a state of Montana fan, yeah, they're gonna roll them.
I mean, a game of this magnitude, you can't imagine the line is going to be just crazily off. I mean, there's so much time that they've had to prepare for this. I mean, I think SDSU wins by 20.
Yeah, and you knew SDSU was going to be in it once they beat the Bobcats in week 2.
Oh, they're stacked.
I mean, I hate to
Yeah.
be weird. The second they won that game, it's like, oh yeah, just go to Frisco.
Oh yeah, yeah. So SDU, SDSU. Good luck, Montana. Go Grizz, but probably gonna get rolled.
I I hate to say it, I think it's going to be a Jackrabbit win again. Which,
Yeah,
on another note, how sick of a mascot is a Jackrabbit?
I think it's pretty dope. I'm gonna just say that.
Like, no, like that is just like the coolest name. It's like the trash pandas in the minor league. I love the name Jackrabbits. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
It's just so random and so cool.
Love it. What did I see? Oh, the speaking of good mascots slash concepts, the AHL team for the Seattle Kraken. Now, hear me out here. I'm going to just get the appropriate 100% name because I remember it, but I just want to say it right because I want to share with you how sick of a name this really is.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, the official feeding program for the Seattle Kraken. Okay. Oh, excuse me. This is yeah. They're in the AHL. They're the Coachella Valley Firebirds, and they
That is
have the.
amazing.
Is that dope or what? And they're like a big like Firebird that's like orange. It's like orangish with like shades of light orange, and the Kraken blue with the Kraken baby or the Kraken teal as well. So they're like navy teal. Like you have to look them up. Their jerseys are
Yeah, I'll have to look that up because as I'm like thinking of that in my head, I'm like, that
no,
looks
no,
kind
no.
of crappy, but
It's not crappy. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said shit about it. All right. So just look it up. Tell me what you think. They're pretty nasty.
is it
Okay.
Coachella like the
Yeah, Coachella. They're in
okay.
California. Coachella Firebirds.
Okay,
Coachella
yeah, that's a
Valley.
pretty dope logo. I'll admit
Isn't that
that.
sick?
Yeah,
It's kind of nasty.
yeah.
Nasty.
It wasn't quite as
Yeah.
mixed
So
in as I thought it was
in
going to
the
be.
NHL
That's
season, yeah, it looks pretty dope. In the
yeah.
NHL season right now, currently, it's getting a little bit easier to bet on. Although, if you really look at it, and I was looking at this, finally hit an NHL parlay last night, by the way. And
Oh,
I'm telling
nice.
you, Mitchell, I have been on a absolute drought
That's
when
not
it comes
good.
to this stuff. No, it's been pretty grueling. I'm surprised we're able to give our kids a Christmas.
Okay, so one thing about the NHL that I've never been able to understand, well, a lot of things, but the main thing that I'm thinking about right now, because I know that they just dropped, I think they're doing their all-star game voting here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
How the heck does it work? Because they have three
Uh,
different divisions in each conference.
yeah, so it's all 3-on-3, I guess. I don't know. I think they're incentivized, like the winning team gets prize money. Um, I haven't really watched, to be totally transparent with you, at all, really.
Okay.
Since they changed the format of that. So, something else to watch here. But I think it's like it's like a 2 day thing or a day thing. I'm not really sure, but
I've just
yeah,
never understood how it works.
just amazing. Just looking at the standings, right, and like how hard to start out the year this has been to bet on, right? So like the number one team, this is recent, this is to date. 26 wins. The New York Rangers have 26 wins. So they got 53 points. They're tied with the Avs for first place in the
Yep.
entire league. All right. If you think about it, it's crazy. So what did I say? 26, right? The 23rd best team out of the 32 teams. So like almost in last, right? Has
Yep.
19 wins.
That is crazy. That is really bunched up.
Isn't that wild? And then you just even at the bottom of the barrel. I mean, the San Jose Sharks. I mean, they're basically playing the Barracudas, their AHL affiliate. So I mean, they have 9 wins. I mean, they're getting rolled every game. But the Blackhawks have 11 wins. They're in 31st place. So it's just amazing the caliber of these athletes in every sport, for one. But
Yeah.
like to be at the bottom of the barrel and still have at least half of the same, wins as the
Yeah.
guys at the top, it's pretty wild. So it makes for pretty competitive, no matter what game you're watching.
Well, it's like even
Um,
with the NFL this year. I mean, the Raiders have a seven and
yeah,
eight record
exactly.
right now,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
7-9 record, and they're the
Mhm.
eighth or ninth pick in the draft.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like, how are we gonna even compete with that
yeah. Needed a
when
tank.
everyone's decent?
Tank for Caleb.
No,
No, you're out on Caleb Williams.
I'm out on Caleb Williams. He did terribly at USC this year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really do it for me. You know who he actually reminds me of, if he's going to remind me of any NFL quarterback at all?
Who?
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I could see that. Honestly, even looks wise, he kind of looks like him.
Yeah, they kind of look like each other. Yeah, pretty good. Oh, so
No,
anyways.
honestly, big two that I'm in on, and I know that this is a West Coast thing. I love Bo Nix and I love Michael Penix.
Mhm. All right.
Those are the two that I'm
Let's,
the biggest in on.
well, hopefully one of them brings home the chipper.
Yes.
Heck yeah. Good deal. Yeah, shoot. Outside of that, got a hockey game tonight at 9:15.
I
Shelby, my
still don't get
wife.
why they have you going that late.
Well, they have to pack in all the crowd and it takes about a couple hours just to get
Oh,
everybody through
yeah,
security and
that makes sense.
yeah, through
Perfect sense
security.
now.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I think the barn holds I think it's like 70, 80,000. So they all show
Yeah.
up and tailgate and stuff. So it takes a little bit there. But in the event, Shelby can't attend this evening because she is one of our only season ticket holders, as she shows up to every game. She has the flu, Mitchell.
Yeah.
And for those of you listening, and hopefully you catch this in time, depending on when Mitchell decides to put this up, but she is contemplating listing that ticket on StubHub currently for $400. And you
Oh,
really get
oh.
$400. Yeah, it's real cheap actually, because it comes with a parking pass. Comes with a parking pass. Also, you'll have a meet and greet basically anytime you want, to the players, because you'll be the only one there.
Wow.
Yeah, so pretty cool. So $400 on StubHub. Look it up under, I'm sure you won't even have to look it up. Probably just pop up things locally going on in Billings.
Yeah, because it's like the only thing going on in town tonight, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, all 80,000 people usually pack that place in the
Yeah.
city. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that's not there is just a nobody. Honestly.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but I mean, I'm glad you did. I will say that. So yeah, so it's 4 o'clock now. See, I woke up about 4 o'clock this morning, started watching film, stretching it out, running myself, doing my visualizations. Yeah, really just kind of prepping for the big tilt tonight. So got to
Heck
get
yeah.
stretched out here. It's 4 o'clock now, so I'll probably go eat my pregame meal, listen to some Evanescence
Oh,
to kick
that's your
my
pregame music of choice, huh?
wake me up, wake me up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, wake me up. Yeah. So gotta get on that, Mitchell. So as of about 2 minutes ago, it's cutting into my hockey time. So
All right. Well, I guess, what do you got going on this week, and then we'll wrap up.
Buddy, I got a full-fledged work week coming up. Big stuff happening at the Big Sky Life. Got some big announcements, big things coming. Availability to do anything outside of that for the next couple of weeks is probably going to be pretty limited. Um, I took a long break, and I'm going to pay the price.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to be working on doing some more stuff for our meet and greet, which is January 26th at Metal Arc Brewing
Ooh.
in Billings.
Yes, meet and greet. Yes, I will be
Yes.
there meeting and greeting. I
Yes.
asked Mitchell what he needed me to do for this, and he said just be there to meet and greet.
Yep. Look
And
pretty.
so, yeah, look pretty, which I better get to working on that first before I think about maybe doing any more hockey stuff. So,
All
anyhow,
right,
but
man.
yeah, the meet and greet was going to be sweet. Now, one thing I wanted to touch on that. What is something pretty unique? I mean, that we are doing in itself, but we are actually giving away was it a trip, Mitchell? Can you just tell the listeners what we're doing?
Yeah, so we are giving away a trip to Vegas.
Whoa!
Yes.
It's nighttime. And are we giving away 7 glass seats at the Knights game too? Isn't that part of it?
That is not part of it. No.
Oh,
No.
it's not part of it.
No. Sorry to burst everyone's
I think it
bubble with that.
is.
But you can package
It's
the
only
trip
5.
around. Huh?
It's only 5 tickets.
There's no tickets involved.
There's no tickets anymore. What happened?
No. It just was never there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, wow. I was told there was going to be tickets. Anyways, for
Well,
an
you
okay
can
time.
you can group it around like a football game for the
Oh,
Raiders
yeah.
or whatever, or a Knights game if you really want to. If you're a hockey guy like Tony, so no, it's a great time, and I think you can get the tickets built in somehow. I'm not entirely sure on that, but yeah.
Well, I heard, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard the trip is only valid if you go in the months of December and January, January, late January. So the chances of catching a Raiders game at that time of the year probably aren't looking too hot, right, Mitch?
Screw you, Tony.
It's nighttime.
No, it is redeemable for 2 years. You'll be able to catch your
Whoa!
Raiders game. Go enjoy the amazing, beautiful stadium there.
You're gonna love it.
You're gonna love it. It's a great stadium, best in the country. Screw Jerry World. Yeah,
Whoa. That was like your best Donald Trump impression I think I've ever heard.
and I wasn't even trying. Thank
And
you.
it was all about the Raiders because you see, when I show up to the Raiders stadium, it sells out 3 times over. Vote for me if I'm on the ballot. Please, if I'm on the ballot. Melania told me. She told me I'd be on the ballot. Do not worry. So I said, okay, let's try to go to a Raiders game in January. And she said no to that.
Well, on that note, thank you all for listening, and we will be back next week. We hope your 2024 is off to an awesome start.
Off the chart.